Hi everyone and welcome to today's webinar. Please give us a few minutes for attendees to join the webinar. We'll be with you shortly. Hello and welcome to our Lambin webinar, where we offer the art of sound solutions. I'm Mark Rich, VP of Sales, and with me today is Rick Farthing, Design Engineer Manager. How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing good, Mark.
I just can't seem to get the intro right.
That's what we do in post-production. Don't worry.
Exactly, it's fine. Okay, so today we're going to be discussing places of worship, acoustics, where they apply and how they get into it. So let's get started. All right, today's webinar, again, acoustics in places of worship. As always, we discuss baffles, beams, panels, different types of applications, certifications as we go through the products, Red List Free, Reach RoHS Living Building Challenge. We like to always just notate each item as we kind of go through it, just to give a little extra insight into the products. Reverberation, sonic standard acoustical panels. This has been a big topic. We've been seeing a lot of quotes and requests come across for, again, places of worship, depending upon your denomination. Again, it's a congregation area. Where are people meeting? Can they hear the person? Is the sound reaching from not only from the front to the back of the room? How do they place the panels? Where does it go? So Rick, let's talk about a little bit of insight for somebody in a space like this. Why would we put the panels in these locations?
Well, typically these are very large open areas, or they were going for a certain geometry, which is usually, amphitheater-like, narrow at the stage, tapering out towards the back. So you're going to need some science behind the acoustics, some diffusers, mostly absorbers, some panels, a combination of the two, ceiling baffles to stop with reverb across the ceilings, clouds over certain areas, and some on the back wall to go with the motif that do add some absorptions, but to convey a theme as well, because we do a lot of art panels. And
yeah, we do see a lot of that.
Carpeting is also a good absorber. So yeah, these larger areas tend to need a lot more hand holding in the form of what is actually needed, whether it's side to side, front to back, reverbing off the ceiling. So because all their AV equipment like this one has a couple of big monitors, but they had a live band as well as PA speakers in the back.
You get that sound kind of going around because of the walls. It could be bouncing around. So by the time you're in the back of the room, if it's not adequately tuned, you're going to hear a lot of echoing, or it's not going to be a clear sound that's pouring through the area. So
the art of noise control.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then this is a good example. So just notating the panels that you're seeing, which are clouds technically because of the way they're being suspended from the ceiling, those are being done with threaded rods, it looks like, in order to add a nice atmosphere and keep the products in place.
Exactly. And most of it would be mounted with airline cables for any kind of suspended or direct mounted to the ceiling. In this case, vaulted ceiling, looks like maybe a metal roof. And also for seismic stability here in California, we like to shake and move. So keeping everything stabilized, or air vents, windows or open atriums will tend to sway panels. So threaded rod usually does the trick.
Absolutely. So let's get into a little bit of these diffusion as well. So something to show here is pyramid diffusers. So Rick was kind of getting at on the walls prior. If you take a look at back in this slide here, on the walls, we do have different types of diffusion panels. An acoustician will certainly let you know what you need in your space, but we just like to provide and show items. So again, looking at the diffusers, these diffusers come in particular sizes. You can have them on the ceiling, you can have them on the wall. Very low NRC value, but that's designed on purpose in order for the sound to scatter, spread through the space. Also add a nice architectural element. This is our pyramid that we're showing here. And then here you're seeing a radius panel. So Rick, talking about the panels and the sizes, you've done a lot of these before. Do you see a lot of applications mainly in the ceilings, the walls? Where do most people tend to apply a lot of diffusers?
It's actually about a 60-40. Most of the time it's on the walls. It's a lot in bands, choirs, percussions, orchestral, as well as larger opera houses, let's say. And they'll either use primarily the barrel diffusers or these radius diffusers in conjunction with wall panels.
Yep.
So it's primarily, and even that's about a 60% or 3-to-1 ratio or 2-to-1 ratio of acoustic panels over barrel diffusers. But yeah, like you said, it's designed to manipulate the sound wave and redirect it so there's more control of the reverb rather than absorbing the sound and actually bringing it under
exactly, because sometimes you want that sound to carry, you want it to spread around, you don't maybe want the echoing. So as we notated earlier, where you had the panels in the ceiling, you had the diffusion on the walls, it's going to help with that sound. Again, an acoustical engineer would certainly help out with this in order to determine the proper locations for these placements, where they would go and how you would use them. Something to also make sure you guys know, they do come in particular sizes. So depending upon what you're looking for, whether it be 2 feet by 2 feet or 4 feet by 6 feet, they come in different sizes and orientations, but we can wrap these in any fabrics and get the look and the feel that you want. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say the typical ceiling grid system as well. So it's 2x2, 2x4, and combinations accordingly. Yeah.
Okay. So getting into, again, different types and styles, how you can apply the acoustics in the environment. You can add them as an element. You could, here we're showing you single core baffles that are hanging from the ceiling. So Rick, this particular design aspect that we're seeing here, they got some fans, they've got some lights. Why would they choose something like this?
Well, this is to control the reverb bouncing from back to front off the ceiling and going down long, especially long open, in this case, vaulted ceilings, that we can follow the shapes of the ceilings, vaulted, or we can even join them together. We've actually done some zigzag, so it's like moving clouds of hanging baffles.
Oh yeah.
But in this aspect, blending in with the ambiance of this room, this chamber, they have the same fabric on the back wall panels and on the side wall panels, so the ceiling just sort of blends in rather than stand out or have any kind of eye-popping, eye-catching features.
If some people wanted, like, as an example, like wood beam looks, anything like that, Maybe that's not in your budget, but you can get a panel, provide additional acoustics. You can get a similar feel by adding these panels in there, by drawing your eye to it or creating that type of space. What about, so in the space, as we're hanging, we're putting them up with, you do a threaded rod, you would do aircraft cable. What would you recommend in a situation like this?
For at this angle, threaded rod is the more stable, but it's a little bit more bigger and bulkier, so it's more noticeable. If you're really going for that invisible look, I would stick with the aircraft cable. It's 1/8 inch thick. Smaller mounting locations on the ceiling and on the back of the baffle, so it blends in a lot better. It's not so much as an eyesore, but again, threaded rod for air movement, open venues that has that.
Yeah, you don't want it swaying back and forth.
Or seismic events and stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So getting into what Rick was mentioning before, there's different types of ways you can take these baffles. As you're seeing here, we've got the baffles interweaving with each other to make different types of designs. Here we're doing circle designs that are crossing over each other to add additional little circles or ovals. Again, these are single core baffles, so these panels are wrapped on all 6 sides, eyelets in the top. We could do threaded rod, as Rick had notated before. So depending upon what you're looking for and what your needs are, you can sit there and design and develop different types of products for different environments and get a nice look for it, as well as nice acoustics. PET Hush Hex panels. This is again, it's a very simple product. It's a PET recycled plastic, comes in 15 inch by 13 inches, roughly 5/8 of an inch thick. And these you just adhere right to the wall, add a nice design in your hallways. Let's say if you have like linoleum floors and, standard drywalls, and you hear the, footsteps kind of going down the hallway. This is a nice way to add a different design or a different element. Not overly expensive. Again, great design aspect, allows you to play with it. You can build, you can add, you can start smaller and go bigger with it. All depends on what you want to do. Anything you want to add to this, Rick?
No, you talked about the modularness of it. So with a variety of colors and shapes, and even other shapes, there are a few others that can be used intermixing with these, like I was going to say the sonic design form, the pyramids of the diamonds. Yeah. And yeah, it's great to give movement and artistry to the wall.
Yeah.
All the while for the acoustical absorption. Yeah.
Absolutely. So here we're showing you like a classroom, and here you can put on a printed art walls, as you're seeing on the back wall there. You also have some nice clouds from the ceiling to help with that reverberation or the sound or the echoing that's going on in the space due to the walls or the floors or the ceiling where the noise will bounce around. So the nice thing is with a printed art panel, if you have a particular theme that you want to put out there, you want to make it also taggable, you can do that. You can provide the artwork to us. We can spread it out across the wall, make it into one image, whatever you want, really, as long as it's an EPS or an AI file, we can take that image and make it artwork or an acoustical panel. Dividers, can you go into the dividers and why they work well for spaces like this, Rick?
Yeah, they're good for keeping them mobile. Like you can see here, they do have wheels or stands, so they can be slid in and out as needed. And it gives that element of concentration, reading rooms or just some talking rooms that isn't, well, confidential, but it really allows, the best thing I've heard from a lot of customers is they can think better with them around, and just placing them in an area to control a lot of the background and ambient noise. So, and then we offer these in the artistry aspect, the wall art or the mobile art panels. So you can come up with even a custom design. We'll work with you with our design team, and or we have an array of
standard
shapes and
offerings that we
sizes. Yeah, and
different colors, different designs. You could suspend these from the
I was
ceiling.
just about to say that. Yeah, the last few that we've done were suspended so that they weren't touching the ground. They were a foot from the floor.
Use it like a false wall, that's kind of
Exactly.
in there, and if you needed to. We've also had a few people use it almost barn door style, to where you can take it, put it up on a wall on a roller system, and
The
then you
mountains. Yeah,
slide them back and forth. It's a great way to add and bring the product in, and not only have just something boring and bland. You got something with a little more interest, and then true acoustics, which is very nice. So we appreciate your time. That's the end of our presentation today. I'm Mark Rich, VP of Sales, and with me as always is Rick Farthing, Design Engineering Manager. We hope you enjoyed our short presentation on acoustics in worship environments. Thank you. Have a great day.
have a good day.
Have a good one, Rick. See you.